you don't really see Orientals engaging with Muslims. We're not saying that you haven't produced anything useful. We're not saying that you haven't produced anything useful. We're not saying that you haven't produced anything useful.
Are the Coptic Orthodox really Muslims? Modern edition. Really, as in the last clip, Orthodox Kai, Orthodox Shahada on YouTube, has been making a bunch of claims about how, okay, well, the Coptic Orthodox really have been sort of useless in the fight against Islam in recent years on YouTube, more specifically, kind of a weird claim. So, sort of the counterclaim I would think about bringing up would be, okay, well, Father Zachariah Butros, a Coptic Orthodox priest, has been, sort of a staunch defender against Islam, sort of the first in anti-Islamic YouTube. And Father Zachariah Butros has been doing this for more than probably 20 to 30 years since the 1990s, but he's been prevalent on YouTube, so much to the point where he actually has a $60 million bounty on him. He had to escape Egypt as a Coptic Orthodox priest, obviously. He's getting multiple death threats and multiple attempts on his life. Here you can see that he's also appeared on Sam Shamoun. Sam Shamoun has utilized and talked with him, which is kind of weird considering, well, Orthodox Shahada also utilizes Sam Shamoun and some of his anti-Muslim polemics. Also, Orthodox Shahada himself has utilized Syriac Orthodox metropolitans and their anti-Islam polemical work to combat the Islam dilemma. Okay, it's kind of strange that you're using these so-called, Muslim Orthodox, Muslim Christians, and use their Muslim polemical work online. So let's sort of put to rest, really, these unsubstantiated claims once and for all in this video. So in the last video, all right, we were more historically founded, debunking, okay, well, Copts aren't Muslims genetically, biblically, historically, getting rid of all of that. And in this video, I want to focus from the past to the present. What is going on now that we can use to get rid of this idea that, okay, Copts are Muslims in this sort of protected class that really works for the Muslims rather than against them. So here's a list of even more Coptic theologians in more recent times. And actually, as you can see down here near the bottom, Pope Shenouda III, our last Coptic patriarch, is one of the foremost defenders of the church. And speaking of Pope Shenouda III, he also went up against Anwar Sadat. You can see here on the left, when Anwar Sadat was subtly supporting the persecution of Coptic Christians and doing things to subterfuge and try to take down the church. So Pope Shenouda spoke out against him. Sadat actually took him and imprisoned him along with several other clergy, and he actually wasn't even released even after his assassination. Multiple years after, he was just left there to rot in house arrest. More recent times, our current patriarch, Pope Tewodros, on the right, went up against Mohammed Morsi on the left for some of the same sorts of reasons. Mohammed Morsi was supporting violence against Copts, as you can see here, church being burned down, all the way until even our cathedral in St. Mark was being attacked and torched by Muslims. So what Pope Tewodros did, he backed Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, you can see here on the right, as the better choice who would give Copts a better future, and not as a puppet, of course. Now, Sisi owes a debt to the Copts for helping him in his victory. But even though things have improved for Copts, there are still, as you can see here, reported by the U.S. Department of State, we're still the subject of much persecution. Our businesses get torched, inflamed, torn down. Multiple of our churches will randomly get attacked still. We don't have as many licenses to build churches. For example, Muslims will have unlimited mosques. Copts can only build like 3 churches or cathedrals a year. We are forced to learn the Quran in school. We are held to much discrimination in schools, in the government even. A Coptic Christian can't become president, prime minister, or have any high-ranking government authority in the population census to sort of undermine us, to say, oh, there's only 2%, 3%, 4% Copts, when the reality is much more. Also, 550 of Coptic women every year will get kidnapped, forced to convert, forced to marry, other horrible things. And this is a conservative number from a recent study. And this is a picture of the Palm Sunday bombing, which left 43 killed and over 700 injured on Palm Sunday. No one will ever be aware of this. Not many people even know about it. Obviously, it's a completely different story if it was a school shooting in America or anything. We're much more aware of these things that happen closer to home. home than in our home country, Egypt. I would levy against the Eastern so-called Orthodox that if we are dhimmis, if we are a protected class, why are we driven to extinction? Why do the Muslims hate us to the point where they want to get rid of us? Just because we live in close vicinity to them in Egypt, share some of the similar sorts of things in our cultures, doesn't mean we support them, doesn't mean we ally with them, doesn't mean we have never fought back against them. So this is not a cry for help. Really, it's anything but that. Christ will take care of his church. Christ will take care of us. Whichever way in the future we see will be guided by Christ, who has taken care of his 2,000-year-old church that was started by him and his apostles. This is more of, we should be aware of these things and actively resist claims made against us in our faith that are overwhelmingly false, because as Coptic Christians, Oriental Orthodox especially, every day there's a new struggle. So thank you for watching the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, and keep tuning in.